All right, so today we're going to be looking at how you're going to create your discussion board related to the prompt, do the Mongols deserve their historical reputation? So your task after completing the DBQ documents is to answer the question, do the Mongols deserve their historical reputation? Your post must include one structured mini argument. Then you must respond to two classmates using the provided sentence starters or something very similar to it. Your goal is to make a clear claim, support it with document-based evidence, and explain your reasoning, not just summarize. So your prompt is to analyze whether the Mongols had a more positive or negative impact on the world from 1200 to 1450, which is the time period that we're looking at. That's just breaking down, their historical reputation, does it stand up? So the popular story people tell about this group is often very simplified. You saw in your documents that it really isn't. So an example would be the Mongols were only brutal conquerors versus the Mongols connected Eurasia and improved trade. One that their reputation is true, one that theirs is not. So your job is to decide what you think is the most accurate using the documents in the context provided in the background essay. Your post must include these parts in this order. So your thesis, we're going to go over what a thesis should include in just a moment. This is your answer to the prompt. You need to have complexity and ideas related to it. You are making a claim. It needs to be historically defensible. It does not need to be a fact. Your assertion is your major reason. This is one big supporting argument and then two pieces of evidence from the documents that support your assertion or assertion. Your reasoning and analysis explains how and why the evidence proves your assertion and supports your thesis. So you kind of want to go with the required template here. It just makes it easier. So your thesis should start with something like, although blank, the Mongols were blank because blank. So in other words, you're making your claim, although, this is a counterclaim, many historians view the Mongols as barbaric or brutal. The Mongols make a claim that is the opposite of that. And then because that would be your evidence. So the 9th grade expectations for this is that you have your qualifier complexity, which shows you recognize the other side. That's this first part right here. Your claim should be clear, deserve or do not deserve the reputation, or partially deserve is okay, but make sure that you have evidence that supports it. So if you can't decide and you want to go partially, you can use evidence for your counterclaim, but that makes it a little bit more challenging. So I would suggest sticking with your counterclaim. So picking, although the Mongols do deserve their reputation, the Mongols, why, the assertion, they do or don't, and then because your evidence. So although the Mongols use violence to build their empire, they do not fully deserve a purely negative reputation because they also promoted trade and cultural exchange. Then you would go into your evidence of the documents that you found that. Or although the Mongols' rule created stability in some areas, they do deserve a harsh reputation because conquest and fear were central tools of control. So just to kind of go over how you write a thesis statement, we're going to see how this little cat does it.
Do you struggle every time you sit down to write an essay because you don't know how to start? The truth is, your thesis statement sets the tone for your entire paper. In this video, I'll show you the easiest way to write a strong thesis statement that works every single time. First, what is a thesis statement? It's a single sentence, usually at the end of your introduction, that clearly states your main idea and argument. Think of it as a promise to your reader. This is what I'm going to prove in my essay. Now here's the easiest formula you can use. A strong thesis statement has 3 parts: your topic, your claim, and your reasons. Let's break that down. What are you writing about? What's your opinion or position? Why are you taking that position? When you put them together, you get a clear, specific, and arguable thesis. Most students struggle because their thesis is either too vague, too broad, or just a fact. Let me show you. See the difference? The strong thesis is specific, arguable, and gives a roadmap for the essay. So remember, a strong thesis statement: topic, claim, and reasons. Keep it specific, arguable, and clear. Use this formula, and your essays will instantly become stronger. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and check.
All right, so you are going to create a supporting point as well. So this is your assertion. One is your reason the Mongols deserve or do not deserve their reputation. You need to pick one clear category for your assertion. Examples, you can pick warfare and conquest, trade and connection, government and order, cultural exchange, anything that you got out of the video, the background essay, or the documents. Make sure that you're citing this. It should be arguable and not a fact. So you need to cite at least 2 pieces of evidence. Here are some ways that you can do that. Evidence according to the document. Put the document in there. According to document 1, 2, 3, 4 through 10. So use these specific details as a description of what you get. You don't want to quote it directly. Connect your evidence to your assertion and have a minimum of 2 documents. That is, more is okay, but not required. And then you can have some sentence starters here also to help you. So as far as the evidence is concerned, you need to have your reasoning. This evidence shows blank because blank. So what strong reasoning does this? Explain how the evidence supports the assertion, cause and effect. You can link it back to the thesis. You can use analysis language, not summary language. Everyone has read these documents. Just assume that everyone has read these, the people that are going to be reading and responded to you have. So here are some helpful verbs to help with that. So just your template for this is to, although blank, the Mongols blank because blank. One reason the Mongols deserve or do not deserve their reputation is blank. Your evidence according to document or document A shows something like that. And this evidence, those 2 documents that you use, shows your claim because why. So kind of a quick check before you finish posting that. Did I answer the prompt clearly, deserve or not? Did I cite 2 documents by number? Did I explain why my evidence matters and reasoning and not just what it says by summarizing it? Then you're going to respond to 2 peers. Once you have posted your initial response, you'll be able to see other people's responses. And for each response, you're going to choose one option. You can add an additional piece of evidence from a different document. You can challenge their argument using a different document, or you explain why you agree or disagree with their reasoning. And here are some sentence starters to help you do that. So make sure you name the document number you're using, explain how it supports or challenges their claim, keep it academic and respectful. If you have any questions, as always, you can come into office hours to get help.